welcome to the 116th episode of Redeeming the Time. I'm your host, Jacob Wells. This is my dad, my co-host, Keith Eric Wells. Nice shirt.
Obviously,
We're
we
cute.
didn't talk to each other.
So these are the hiking shirts for us.
These things are awesome.
I love these things.
They were on sale last year at Columbia, the outlet, and I was like, I'm getting one of those.
It's light, but it covers your skin, and and it has a hood. So in hiking in Peru, I had the hood up. If you're watching, I had the hood up, and then I tucked it in my hat. So I was sweating a little bit more because there wasn't as much flow, but I did not get burned at all.
Yeah, up in the mountains, you burn your neck for sure.
Very easily. So I love these things. I've got so many of them now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got 7 or 8. Yeah. Well, you'll get more. Just don't go to Sierra and you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Sierra is the dangerous place.
That store, though, you gotta look through stuff. It's just like all thrown in together.
It is, yeah.
It's like there used to be a store here before you were born. JCPenney had an outlet store, and Quante had the best description of it. He said, so they pay you to step on their clothes. They just had a big table and they just throw clothes on it, and you had to sort through it. I feel that way there.
At least it's hung up.
Yeah. Van Loonen's was a store too, on the corner of where the Walgreens is on West Fork and North Bend. Same deal. Just throw a bunch of stuff on a table and people would be, what's a deal? I have no idea why. We did not plan to go this direction. Go ahead.
It is the thrill of where is the deal.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but that's what it is for people.
No, it's not me.
All right, well, back to our regular scheduled program. It's the second, when recording this is the Saturday before Selection Sunday.
It's Pi Day. Yeah.
So this is the semifinals and some of the finals of the conference championships. So Big 12 plays today.
Purdue plays UCLA today. UCLA had a late game against Michigan State.
It was hard fought too.
Yeah, so I'm hoping we can beat them.
You guys look, Braden Smith, I should say. Braden Smith looks like he's on a mission, and then everybody else is shooting the ball well. So when you have that combo of a guy that can see the court and know where everybody's at, and then him passing, and then the guys who we passing to making shots, they look good. And that Clough dude, he's playing really well.
Yeah, he is 21. Smith is 21 assists away from not the Big Ten record. He already has that.
Yeah.
From all-time NCAA Division I.
Behind Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, behind Bobby Hurley. He would tie Bobby Hurley with 21. And of all the people to be able to beat, that would be awesome.
I'm rooting so hard for
22
Just
assists.
Please, for the love.
He needs at least, well, he has a game today, and he have at least one game in the tournament. That could do it, but it'd be really nice to have 3 games.
Yeah.
So if he could win today and have a third game against Michigan or whoever, Wisconsin, Michigan, I'm hoping for him, because to beat one of the Hurleys, well, what a week for Hurley though.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, he lost his job, and then to lose his record that stood since 1995.
8, somewhere around there.
No, it'd be 95, because he was playing when I was in college, and so.
Yeah, 90s. So
we're not big Hurley fans.
No, we're
not. You can tell.
So before Selection Sunday, I'm not saying who you're picking. We're not doing picks yet. Okay. That would be next week. But who has disappointed you? I'm assuming you've been watching a bunch. The last 2 days I have been watching a lot.
Yeah.
With the 4 screens on YouTube TV, it's insane. It's so overwhelming, but so awesome at the same time. Who have impressed you and who has disappointed you? I'll go first. Illinois is not legit.
Yeah.
Illinois
Yeah,
and
what
Kansas.
happened there?
Illinois and Kansas are not legit.
Kansas is not legit. They haven't been legit all season.
No. Darren Peterson is not the guy. And sure, he had 20 points. He does not play to win, in my opinion. I don't think he's that good. Speaking like, I'm sitting here doing a podcast and he's playing bad. I'm not saying I'm gonna beat him, but
I got what you're saying.
He's projected to be number 1 pick in the NBA draft, and I would rather have AJ DeBansta or Boozer with it.
I'd take Boozer. Just because of the.
Speaking of Boozer, Duke and Virginia have not had a close game at all, and they've played the 4 to 6 seeds in the ACC. Does that mean ACC is trash? Maybe, but
the ACC's weak this year. But I do think that Duke is the team to beat.
Yeah, and Virginia, I'm interested to see what Virginia does against Duke, but they have not had a close game, like 20-point.
Yeah,
the whole game.
Michigan looked incredibly tough there forever, and then I started seeing Duke. Yeah, they're legit.
And Florida, I don't know. It's probably biased because they've beaten us, but
3 times.
But they just look. The eye test. Every time someone catches the ball, they know the plan. There's no, hey, I'm just gonna sit here and dribble the ball for 5 seconds. No, there is a plan every time everyone touches the ball, and it's actually fun to watch. Not as much as when they're playing us. But
I can't believe you're saying that.
I know, but they look like they want to repeat.
They look like.
Well, obviously they want to repeat, but they look like they could.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Florida and Duke have been the most impressive in the last week or two, and Illinois, Kansas are. I'm gonna have them losing.
The disappointing one was to see. I mean, I'm just saying this because this is where we live, but to see UC play so well in the last 7 games. I mean, beating good teams.
Yeah, just to lose
that way. But I mean, Wes Miller,
he's gone.
So,
did you see Miami?
Miami lost. That broke my heart actually for him.
Yeah, that really stinks to go 31-0 and then
first round
and then what would really just be the salt in the wound would be if they go 31-0 and then end the season 31-2. Because they're going to be in the tournament. Lenardi already said but if they lose the first round in the tournament, they have them as a 10 or 11 seed. They're going to be playing a Power 5 conference.
Be the 12-2 game. They'd have a potential winning that.
Yeah, the 6 and 11 have been the big one. So if they're an 11 seed, I really hope we do not play them because I feel like I don't think UK will.
Is it 12-2? Is that right?
12-5.
12-5. I knew that didn't sound right.
Just rolling with it.
Yeah, thank you. I knew it didn't sound right in my head.
So.
Doesn't even mathematically make sense. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
I hope they don't. I hope they have at least make it to round of 32. But
we'll see. I just saying that would really stink.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. So, one other thing. Today we have a scavenger hunt of sorts around the church for the mystery, for the SWAT.
Teens?
Yeah.
What time's that?
After the Grand Prix.
Oh, I was going to say, man, we got 3,000 things going on here today.
I've made clues that basically send them on a wild goose chase throughout the whole church. So, like, there will be one in here with the teen section, and there will just be a clue, and it has, like, a snarky comment of a task, and it will send them to another location. But then a lot of them send them back to the same location or, like, 5 clues prior to, like, count how many A's are in and how many A's I used in the clue or whatever, and then however many you go to that classroom.
Goodness. The one they had already looked at?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's 20 clues, but they have to go back to, they have to read like 30 clues or something like that and pay attention. And so I'm interested to see, because the guys, they're going to be running. They're going to beat the girls with speed, but they're not going to be paying attention. And this will already happen, but one of them is I have the number of clue it is, so like 1, 2, like spelled out, and like 4 or 5 of them I have lowercase. Like 2 is lowercase t.
Oh, goodness.
And so after like 15, I say, have you been paying attention to which ones are lowercase? And so they're going to have to go back to each one to see which ones are lowercase and then say.
That's annoying.
They're going to hate me, and I'm perfectly okay with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
very cool.
That's what I'm excited about right now, I guess. Basketball and the mystery.
Yes, this Thursday, Friday is the greatest sporting event in the year, and we will be camped out watching all 32 games. Yes, that's the hope. So, all right.
With YouTube TV, it's easier now.
Yeah. Very good. We set up 3 TVs.
We won't even need that.
Yeah, you do, because it's only like a.
But if we get the big TV.
Nah.
All right.
We'll have more than one playing. Got to do that. All right. We need to wake up here. We are in.
I'm fired up. I don't know about you.
Everybody else might not be listening to us. We are in chapter 21, and we are in the new heaven and the new earth. We went through verses 1 through 8 last week. Kathy had a good question. She was talking about, she asked, what kind of body we would have in this. Would this be a natural body, or is this the new body? Well, it is a new body, a glorified body. I don't know to what extent what that is. We are recognizable. We
if you died at 100, would you be that body?
I don't believe so. I think there's some set age, or we're all going to look, we've talked about this in the past, we're all going to be 33-year-old that looked like Jesus. I don't believe that. I think there might be a set age, but will be recognizable. So I think it's a glorified body that doesn't age, that doesn't, that we'll have for eternity. So that's my answer to that.
Yeah, I think I look at when Christ was resurrected, he had the new body, and he was recognizable, and he wasn't beaten down. Like, you could see the scars, but it wasn't like.
Yeah, so there were permanent things in.
Yeah. So, but from then on, he has the glorified body.
Correct. So
interesting thing on that side note here, we're going off on tangents.
Yeah, we are.
And the theories that Jesus faked his death.
Yeah.
And if he actually faked his death, I mean, being flogged by the Romans and all that stuff, if he faked his death, how would he have recovered enough in 3 days to have, like, to appear to the disciples? And if he was beaten down, and would that inspire the disciples to change the world, basically?
Yeah, to be willing to sacrifice themselves.
Like, why would you? The logical
progression.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
Where, why would I risk my life to do that instead of the glorified, that awe-inspiring and all that stuff? So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. He walked through walls. He appeared.
Yeah.
He disappeared on the road to Emmaus after they ate the meal. He just boom, he was gone. I mean, there's all kinds of things here that doesn't hold up.
Yeah, Lee Strobel in his book talked to a physician, and he was talking about there would be no way he would be walking to like on the road to
the spear in his side alone. I mean, he would have bled out. I mean,
the spear, but then like he went into detail of like
the flogging and all that.
It was. I thought I understood that. I didn't understand it on the scientific level of the anatomy. Like, what would happen?
What would happen to your back and the
like
organs?
The muscles?
Yeah.
Like they would have been. I don't.
Yeah.
There's no way he would have been able to move the rock if he was just a normal human being. There was no way he would be able to move the rock. And then after that, he wouldn't be just like flaunting around. Like,
yeah,
that's a terrible way of saying that, but like he would not just be waltzing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that has nothing to do with this chapter, but that's all right. All right, so we're in chapter 21, verse 9. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues. And talked with me, saying, Come hither, and I will show thee the bride, the lamb's wife. All right. Let's keep going. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto the stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. And we'll stop there for a second. So, all right, so this is a bunch of description about the New Jerusalem coming down. I'm not going to go into all the stone stuff that comes up here in a few minutes, but
I didn't either.
Yeah, so this is one of the 7 angels that were there that helped pour out the wrath. So these are the ones that held the 7 vials. There's this deliberate, I think, between the angel of judgment, now the angel showing God's glory, wrath to blessing, destruction to new creation. So there's sort of this play going on, showing the completeness of the plan here. Anything with that you saw that was of interest to you?
No, it was not in those verses.
So I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. Okay, so so what is this? So the New Jerusalem, the city that God has created, is coming down, and it's massive. We're going to talk about that. I mean, it's just unbelievably big. It's coming down and connecting to earth. So there's this city that God has created coming to earth, and it's called New Jerusalem, but it's also, we're going to see, but it's also, did we say that already? Sorry. And we also see that it's called there Holy Jerusalem in verse 10, but it's called the bride, the Lamb's wife in verse 9. Okay, so I thought the Lamb's wife is the church, but it's called Jerusalem, which is connected to the Jews. So how's this work? Did you look any of that kind of stuff? Okay.
No.
So there's two views on this. One, the city represents the bride sort of corporately, where the church is identified with the city. They're sort of interchangeable in that. The city is where the bride dwells, which we know that's true, because he tells us, in John, I go to prepare a place for you. If I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again. In my Father's house are many mansions. So this is that place that he's building for us. All right, and he's speaking to the church. So we know that that's true. The city's where the bride dwells. So there's this identification. The other one is the city is distinct, but houses the bride. The city is the dwelling place. The church lives in the city. It's sort of the same thing. But the key point here is that this is the church, the bride of Christ, in her eternal glory that God's given. So, and if you go back to chapter 17, there's that comparison of the harlot versus the bride, and Babylon versus the New Jerusalem, corruption, impurity, judgment for the harlot, and now glory for the bride. So I've thought that was interesting there. All right. And he, verse 10, one of those angels, doesn't tell us which one, carried John. So he's carried me, he says there. So he's carrying John into a great and high mountain. Okay, so this mountain must have been pretty high to look down. I didn't think it means he's looking over it, but looking down on this new holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God. So,
this is where I don't. This is where I need help understanding.
Okay. So, all right. So you imagine the Earth, the same. It's the new Earth. So we can assume the same size. I just for lack of a better, we don't know, but I mean we can assume that. And this city that God has created is coming down, and
it's a massive city.
It's massive. Is it like resting in a hole in place? Is it just touching? I don't know. But nonetheless, this is a vision experience. This is sort of like Ezekiel and Ezekiel chapter 40, verse 2, when he saw, when he was in the Spirit taken and to measure this city. It's pretty much the exact same situation. He goes to this mountain, which that's sort of a typical thing. God took Moses up onto a mountain to overlook the Holy Land. When Jesus was transfigured, he took him up into a mountain. I mean, when Moses was given the law, he was taken up into a mountain. There's this whole consistency in that. So it's basically to see the full scope of what it is. I mean, when we were in Jerusalem or in Israel, we went up to the mountain, Mount Carmel, to look over the valley of Megiddo, to give a full view of the region. That's how it is. You go to Chattanooga and you want to see that region. You go up onto Signal Mountain, or you go up onto Lookout Mountain, and you get a view of that.
Bird's eye view.
Yeah, I think we got it. So he calls it Holy Jerusalem. This is the perfect thing, perfect holiness throughout this. And the key here is descending out of heaven from God. Heaven and earth now are merging. That's the key point in this. No longer does God move away, but he's permanently with us. He's dwelling with us. And the new earth becomes the eternal dwelling place of God. Which now this changes something in our mindset, because when we talk about someone that's passed away, that's a Christian, where do they go?
Heaven.
They go to heaven.
Not the new earth.
Correct. So temporarily, that is true. Until
just like hell is the rest, is the
temporary holding place of those that have not followed the Lord, that are damned. They'll be placed into the lake of fire. Now, for eternity. Now we have heaven. They came and we dwelt with God. We served with Jesus for his 1,000-year millennial reign. And now and then there was that final judgment that God had. And now there is where heaven and earth are combined. So eternal heaven, for lack of a better term, is now coming to earth.
The new earth.
The new earth,
yeah.
Yes. So this is a place without sin. This is a place without
death.
This is a place where that's not winding down. We live on an earth that's winding down. Things are deteriorating.
Resources are depleting.
Yeah, resources are depleting. Things age, all that type of stuff. No longer. So heaven has come to earth. Then in verse 11, having the glory of God and her light was come like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. So it has the glory of God, that radiance that we've read about throughout this. The Old Testament talks about that, when the cloud covered the tent of the congregation. We see it in First Kings and it came to pass when the priests were come to the holy place, the cloud filled the house of the Lord. It used to fill, now it permeates everything. So there's a big difference there.
Because of I think it says it 3 or 4 times, the clear as crystal.
Yeah.
It says it, that's showing the I have a quote later on.
Yeah, go ahead.
But let me find it. Quote from Walford says, constant mention of transparency with the glass indicates that the city is designed to transmit the glory of God in the form of light without hindrance.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so the light is no longer in the Holy of Holies, in the tabernacle or in the temple. It's for everybody, no matter, like he's dwelling amongst everybody.
Correct.
And you can see that, and that's through Jesus, through the Son, there's light.
Yeah, which
S-O-N.
Which when the old temple or tabernacle, there was the Holy of Holies, which was completely closed off except for the light that was in there. Yeah, now it's everywhere. I like that. Compared to jasper stone, which is like a diamond-like
I looked them up.
quartz type thing.
I just looked them up to see what the different stones were. I know that's later on, but
yeah,
I mean they're pretty.
Yeah, it's a multicolored type thing.
Yeah.
But so you compare this in Revelation 4:3 when we first started, God Himself on His throne appeared like jasper. Now the whole city is like that. What you just said, it radiates His glory.
All right, so 12 through 14, you think? As you take a sip.
Sure. Oh, that's
How'd
good.
you get that drink?
Yeah, they just appeared. Go ahead.
12 through 14.
Yeah, there's some good questions in this. I don't know if we have time for all this, but go ahead.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the 12 gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lord. So my 2 questions with this that came to mind, I think I mentioned them last week.
Yeah.
First one is, with the different depictions of what this looks like, the combining of the city of heaven to the new heaven and new earth, it looks like a lot of times it's a pyramid type thing up in just out in space, okay? But for me, it makes more sense that it is just a big city on the new earth and not the pyramid type thing.
But it has a height to it.
That's where this is where I need help.
So
because there's cardinal directions. It says that east, west, east, north, west. So, yeah, north, east, west, south. Okay.
I've never heard it said that way. But go ahead.
My brain is. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. So, with the directions, is that just the 4 sides of the cube or the pyramid, where there's a gate, and then once you get through the gates, then it goes up, or what? How does that?
So there's obviously 4 sides to the wall.
Yeah.
So there's a wall around the city, and there's north, south, east, west of that. All right.
Yeah.
Or west, south, north.
Shut up.
All right. So I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know.
I just don't know.
So it's either a cube
or a rect. Yeah.
Because the height is as much as the width and the length. So it's either a cube or a pyramid.
For me,
4-sided pyramid.
The cube doesn't make sense, but also the pyramid doesn't make sense. I guess the pyramid makes more sense if it's an actual city on the earth, because you can actually walk up a pyramid. You can't just go up a cube unless you can.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff. I mean, did all throughout the world there are. This is down a rabbit hole. All around the world there are pyramids. What's the term though? That's not the term.
I don't know.
Crud. Keep talking. I gotta have that word, else I can't continue on.
So with the cube idea, do you remember the plans that were sold, like, or where people were trying to test the waters over in the Middle East? I think like Qatar, and through the desert they had that just
ziggurat. I didn't even. Okay, go ahead.
It was just a line city.
Yes.
And that they were able to make it just vertical, and it was only like.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be like countless miles long, and
so
they've just put the kibosh on that. Now it's going to be like a server farm or something like that.
Okay,
but go ahead.
But that's what comes to my mind. If it was a cube, vertical, I mean, it looked like it was just like a fictional city type of thing.
Sure,
like it could be lived in.
It could be. There's the whole ziggurat pyramid shape as well, because that's everywhere. It's like, okay, was that a man-made shape? Was that a shape that God put in our mind? I always thought it came from the Tower of Babel, that man created that. But maybe man created that because that shape was in their mind from some early man, something God had given them. Either way, we know it's just as high as it is long and wide. You think
it's crazy because we're about to get into the.
Yeah, you think of you think of movies where this is portrayed. Go to Tolkien and the city with the walls, and then you see it gradually where there's the crown on top.
So
so there's that kind of mentality as well, but this is full throughout. It's not just. I mean, is it layers? So
are the layers based on your rewards? Are you higher up if you like?
Well, okay, we're going to come back to that. That's toward the end.
Okay,
that's toward the end. Let's go into this. So it had a wall great and high, 12 gates, and the gates 12 angels. Okay, so that's interesting. And then the names written on it are the 12 tribes of Israel. So we're going to see the 12 tribes of Israel come in, and we're going to see the 12 disciples come in, or the 12 apostles.
That's my second question.
Yeah, so that's sort of cool. So the gates have the 12 tribes on it. So, first off, why a wall? Why have a wall? If there's no more war, why have a wall? And then the next question, why have gates? So it tells us that the gates are later on. It tells us the gates are always open. So that's not a thing. So it's not a protection type situation here.
So with it being on the earth, do we live in the city, and then the rest of the earth it's just like uninhabited, or do we just come here to worship?
To me, it looks like both. It looks like you're jumping ahead, but the end of the chapter appears that we don't always live in there. That we come and bring worship to the city, but that we have a place in the city.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think a wall is more symbolic more than anything else. The walls were a picture of security. Walls are a picture of separation and holiness. We'll see based on the wall that it's a symbol of beauty, all these precious stones. I mean, this thing is multicolored, and the light coming through of the glory of God makes it just this glorious looking architectural type feature.
That's the first thing that came to my mind, is the beauty of it, because it goes into so much detail of what it looks like. So it's, and we don't have walls around our cities, but in John's day, there were walls around cities, and so the depiction of that, it has all those different symbols, but to show this is not just any normal wall. This is
made out of all these precious. No one ever could do that. I mean, they had the gate beautiful on the temple that you read about in Acts. Was that Acts 8, Acts 5? I forget. But where John and Peter go and heal the man that sat at the gate beautiful, and it was called that because it was just had all these stones in that. Now, that was called that just because of one gate. Now imagine an entire wall around a city that is unbelievably huge that we're going to get to. But this was prophesied, Zechariah 2:5. For I, saith the Lord, will be unto her a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. Okay, so this is talking about just the permanence of that, of a wall. So this wall has 12 gates. 12 is the number of governmental perfection. All right, that's the term. 12 is used throughout the Bible for Israel and that type of thing. And at the gates have 12 angels. They're not guards, but more like attendants. All the jokes. Why should I allow you in the gate of heaven? That kind of joke. But really, these are attendants. Maybe they're even guides. We don't know. But they show the majesty and the honor of the city. As these 12 angels are the guides or the attendants of each of the gates. When we come into the church, there's an attendant that shows you and lovingly shows you around the church. Compare that to the beginning when they were kicked out of Eden. What was there? There's cherubim with flaming fire sword not allowing you in.
Yeah.
So we have the complete reversal of the fall here in this. Now, the names written there honor the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So the 12 tribes are permanently memorialized at the gates, which is this dispensationally is very cool because this, Israel has a permanent place in God's plan. This throws covenant theology, or what's the proper term for that? Replacement theology out the door. We do not become spiritual Israel. All right?
Yeah.
And as much as folks like to think that, this flies right in the face of that. In the final city, it's named after God's people, God's chosen people, the Israelites. So Old Testament saints are included in this. Completely fulfills the Abrahamic covenant. Romans 11:25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that the blindness in part is happened into Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come. And so Israel shall be saved. Yes. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away the ungodliness from Jacob. And we've talked about that over and over. Now we see them in the city. Verse 13, there's 3 gates on each side of the city. There's no favored direction. I think that would be my thinking on this. It's universally accessible, where right now, Jerusalem, you want to come from one spot. You want to come from the east. The other sides are heavily guarded, that type of situation. It shows balance. If you're big time nerdy, like I am, I mapped out when you're in Exodus and Leviticus, and it tells them where the different 12 tribes are supposed to encamp.
Oh, so you think you have which names will be on which side?
Well, no, I do. Numbers chapter 2.
I'm not.
They were specific.
That sounded wrong, but
that would make most sense to me.
Yeah.
there were tribes on each side of the city to give an equal amount of people encamping around the tabernacle. The tabernacle is no more. Now God is tabernacling with us, we talked about. And so we have these 12 tribes. It's just cool stuff.
Yeah.
There,
I mean, that would make sense to me.
There's no mistake in how God was working, 4,000 years ago versus now. And now it's eternally fulfilled. And the city it's not closed off. It's not exclusive, anything like that. So
then the last part of that, the verse 14, and the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. So I think I mentioned this last week with the mention of 12, like in the foundations and in the walls, which are foundational, and then the foundation of the city and the wall of the city had 12 foundations. So are these, you add those up, these are the only 12 that are mentioned. These 12, the apostles and the tribes. You combine that, the 24. Am I doing too much numerology here? Or
I don't know anything with 24.
The 24 elders.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were saying that. Oh, wow. I don't know.
Because that's leading up the foundation when you're looking toward the throne. It was the 12 on each side.
I've never heard someone say that before. I'm sure many people have, but
because now with the new heaven, they have a different role. They don't need So, is that the same? Are they the same thing, or are they not?
I don't know.
I mean, we won't know, but
we will.
Cool to think about.
At one point, but so you have the 12 foundations with the 12 apostles of the Lamb, Jesus Christ. So foundations, you've got the gates and then the foundations. Hebrews 11:10, for he looked, talking of Abraham, for he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is God. So we hear, Abraham looked for this city, and the 12 disciples or 12 apostles are permanently memorialized in these foundations. So this is, the church's foundation is on the apostles. Ephesians 2 says in verse 19, now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone. That's cool stuff.
Yeah.
So the apostolic teaching is the foundation of the church. Now we see them memorializing the foundation of this. So we have this permanent place of the church. Israel's honored in the gates. The church is honored in the foundation. And we both have this permanent significance. Unity of God's people. Now you tell me that you connect this with Romans chapter 11, and you see this, the gates, the foundation. There's no replacement here. Both are honored. I don't know why God did it this way. He chose to. And there's this complementary role in God's plan. One city incorporating all the people that have been redeemed through time. So, like I said, this seriously throws a wrench in the whole replacement theology. But Israel and church are distinguished, yet they are united in this, and a complete plan for God's people.
That's very cool.
That's cool. That's just really cool stuff. I love it. So very, very good. All right. How much? Are we gonna get through this today? I don't think we are.
We'll see.
All right. The measurements, 15 and 17.
And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city and the gates thereof and the wall thereof. And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. So The size of this is incomprehensible.
Yeah.
As a city, we cannot picture. We have no reference point of a city this big.
No, not at all.
Not even close.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So, This is what I saw. How big this city is. 1,500 miles, square miles.
Yes.
So. No, sorry. Yeah, 1,500 miles.
One direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is Maine to Florida.
I've got New York to Denver.
Yeah. And the square footage is around the same as the size of the moon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that
square
one.
footage wise.
Yeah, so if you think of it, Denver to New York to Denver, Canada to Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is
that's pretty much Australia. That's the size of Australia, I would say.
But then
if it was square.
Up.
And then that high up.
Yeah,
exactly.
But we don't know how big.
So
it's easier to. I don't know how big.
So
Australia
if it's a cube, that's 3.3 1/8 billion cubic miles of space. That's a lot.
Did you look at the speculations of how many people
could live in it,
and then how much land you would have if everyone lived in it?
I had one piece of.
It was pure speculation.
Yeah, sure.
And it was from the 70s or 80s or something. But this guy did the math, and if there was a certain, I forget the amount of people that would be up in heaven. I don't know how he got the number, but he said we would have 70 acres of land for everyone. It's like,
70 acres.
Come on, dude. You have no idea.
That's cool. How would he know how many people had been saved over
That's
time?
exactly.
Yeah.
You have no idea. And this was in the 80s or something. So.
Well, I guess the question, why the measurement first? Well, once again, this is not symbolic. All right.
Yeah.
This is a real physical city, and the scale of it is unbelievable. So it is square at its base, and it's either a cube or possibly some pyramid ziggurat type shape. You like that name? I couldn't remember it at first. So 1,500 miles in each direction. The Holy of Holies was square like that, a perfect cube. So maybe it is a cube. That's stretching it. It might be. Who knows? Yeah. So 12,000 furlongs. I gave you the shape of that. So this can house all of the redeemed of all time. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you in John 14:2. So we're not cramped by any means.
So the other thing that came to my mind with this is the whole pyramid on top of the new Earth is a pyramid or whatever, or if it's just the new Earth as we know it as the sphere, okay, and the pyramid on the pyramid doesn't make any sense to me because it's basically like a diamond thing where there's a pyramid, which is heaven, and then on the other side is the earth because it comes down on the new earth. Have you seen that picture?
Is that
It was a few different. I've seen it. When I look it up, I see this image. I can put it on the screen.
Is that one by
Ruckman said, yeah.
Pictures?
That's one of them. But
those are worth looking at.
It is,
for sure.
yeah. But there's other people that believe that too. Where I don't see where the new Earth is a pyramid.
I see the new Earth as a planet.
So that
Else
picture
why
of
use that
the
term?
Pyramid coming down, it would just be a massive pyramid on the sphere.
Okay. What if it's a cube? It's the same deal.
That's the same deal. Just
odd, but
we
have skyscrapers that are.
I've not seen a image when I look it up. And I looked for quite a few, 10, 15 minutes. I never saw that where I never saw that image for whatever reason.
Oh, in your mind, you'd never considered that. I got you.
No, like people drawing it. I never saw just a pyramid on Earth. That
Oh,
massive.
really? Oh, okay.
I didn't find that anywhere. I didn't find the cube either. So
that's how I envision it.
That's how I do too. But I don't know why I couldn't find. Because normally when you look up something, like somebody else has thought of it,
sure,
like in the 40s or something, and you have a. But I don't know.
40s everything happened in the 40s. That's funny. This is funny too. Not funny, but interesting. If he just gave us the dimensions of the city and the height of the city, and this just goes, once again to the question, why a wall? Well, this wall's nothing in comparison to this city. So, that that's something as well to consider. All right. What else?
Then we go into the different
materials. I don't have a lot with this.
Yeah, let's just read it.
You go ahead. I want to hear you say these stones.
Buckle up, buddy. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper. There you go.
Yeah, you got one.
And the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. So there's the whole clear thing again.
So let me just stop for a second. I have several times used this in a funeral, just to have that comforting of what the city is like, where we'll forever be. And
you butcher the words.
The minute I start into verses 19 through 20, I'm like, what was I thinking?
What am I doing?
What was I doing?
And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished.
Filled with precious stones. And we move on to verse 21.
Do you do that?
Oh, yeah, I do. No way. No one wants to hear me say all these different stones.
That's true.
And then at the same time, they definitely don't want to hear me butcher them.
That's true. Yeah, because like Chalcedony,
I don't know what they look like any more than you and I do.
I knew what 3 of them looked like. Emerald,
okay.
Yeah. But
beryl. I know what beryl and amethyst look like.
I knew what emerald, topaz, and amethyst look like, but jacinth, chrysoprasus.
Oh man, those are beautiful. Chalcedony or whatever you say. I think it's Chalcedony.
Oh, I knew what sapphire was too.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, the ones that actually are used are the ones that are common still today.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's 12 of these things.
You're welcome. That's how you get out of that.
And then verse 21, and the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of 1 pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass.
Yeah.
So there's the third mention of being clear and transparent.
Yeah, so the wall radiates God's glory, this beauty of this. This isn't...
with sardonyx and...
yeah, all that kind of thing. So... and this is not ordinary gold either that's on the streets. This is... it's clear. How does that work? I've heard all kinds of people try to talk about that. Feel free.
Gold is the universal forever, the universal precious.
Yeah,
like
the precious
money or wealth, I guess.
Would be the right thing. The only thing I see that I found interesting connection with the different stones that are mentioned there. There are 12 different stones that are mentioned. There are 12 different stones that represent the 12 tribes on the breastplate of the high priest. That's some interesting things. The foundation echoes the priestly ministry, the Israel's identity with the foundation of the city here. And then if you want to tie that in then with us as well, First Peter, he talks and he says, ye also as lively stones are built upon a spiritual house. There's those types of comparisons that you can make. The value of the preciousness of those things. So I don't have anything else with the stones unless you do.
Now
I can give you the different colors if you want. I looked that up. So
It's all good.
Okay.
They can we can look them up.
Then
I just think the it just signified beauty. To get into
the radiance of the light shining through them.
To try and
it's not concrete.
To try and add meaning to these, I feel like is a stretch in my opinion. So I didn't. I started to, and I was like, this is too much.
So then we get to the 12 gates, which Earl sent us some pretty good jokes on that. A pearl. Each gate is a pearl. So you get to the pearly gates. That's the jokes that have always come from that. Every gate was made of one pearl. I don't know how that works. That's amazing.
I don't know
how that's made. And there's some things there. Pearls are, I don't even want to, they're made through suffering and of the animal and all that kind of, you could go into that if you wanted to. The church is seen as a pearl of great price. There's in Matthew chapter 13, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who when he found one pearl of great price went and sold all that he had and bought it. So the preciousness and the value of such a thing, and that is a symbol. The gates are made of that, so that's the symbol of that. But the immensity of these is the thing that's interesting. You got streets of gold that are like transparent glass. You've got pearls in the gates. You've got precious stones on the wall, and the symbolicness of that is, it's just commonplace. The most precious things of this world are pavement. You've heard a lot of preachers use that in sermons, and that's the truth. Abundance beyond measure, and we walk around what every earthly king would covet. That's just commonplace in God's kingdom.
That's good.
How to preach?
Oh, preach! All right. Verse 22 and 23.
All right, let's do it. If we get there, we got to finish.
We got to finish the chapter.
We're going to finish.
Let's do it.
All right.
And I saw no temple therein, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. So there's no need of the temple because God and Jesus are dwelling amongst.
Yeah.
What
was the purpose of a temple? Purpose of a temple was to provide a meeting place with God, to have someone mediate between God and man
for your sin.
And it was God's symbolic presence.
Yeah. So if Christ and God are dwelling and there's no sin, there's no need.
So there's no mediation needed because we have direct access to him. No symbolic presence because he's there. And the whole city is holy. So there's no need for a holy place to go. God himself is the temple and permeates everything.
And I heard an old-timey preacher in verse 23 said, "There's no need of the sun S-U-N because we have the sun S-O-N."
Thank you.
I got the voice from Brother Rick.
It
wasn't. Yeah, go ahead.
So everything, when Jesus is speaking to the Samaritan woman, he says, "Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such as worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth." So we have this now. Fully realized, now physically as well. So worship isn't just localized in a building, it's now throughout that. And now we have the city had no need of sun, neither of the moon.
Did you see the conspiracy that since the...
Conspiracy, all right.
I think it's a conspiracy, or theory, it's a conspiracy, that the new heaven is just the moon because it's coming down and like all that thing.
Okay.
Well, there's no need of the moon because it, it literally says it right here. So it's not the moon.
Yeah, it's not the moon. Yeah, without a doubt. So there's no need for created light. There's all kinds of cool stuff with light you could go into about how it's both a wave and direct and all that stuff. Pretty cool stuff there. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory. Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall the moon withdraw itself. For the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. That's Isaiah.
It's cool.
Way before anything. Before anything in the New Testament, we have Isaiah prophesying this in Isaiah 60. And that prophecy is fulfilled in the new city. For the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. Brighter than the sun, always day, perfect illumination. And like you said, nothing, I'd never thought of that, nothing that hinders that light from shining. And there's no need for private places to speak and that type of thing, because that's all gone. So no darkness, physical, spiritual, or moral darkness, and no darkness as far as ignorance either, of confusion. Perfect light.
I didn't, with the sun and the moon, the different things that they give us, the sun and the moon, and on this earth, like the moon with the waves, the tides. I just thought about that. And then the sun with the waves, like you were talking about, through the atmosphere and through, there's a lot of things that we don't need anymore. Like, I don't want to get too nerdy with it. But
okay, so there's something. I just never even thought about that. Okay, so we're talking about, man, this is going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 116.
So I'm thinking out loud right now. So if there's no need for light outside of God, and if the new earth is a globe, how's that work if there's no moon that reflects the light?
Yeah, it's the other side of the earth lit. How is it lit?
Oh boy. Okay. That's one to think on there. I'd like to hear some theories on that one if you guys, Bob, you've got one on that. I know you do.
Yeah.
Please.
We need some help.
Please enlighten us.
Help. Yeah, that's terrible.
You're welcome. Verse 24 through 26.
And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it.
All right. We good?
I think so.
All right. So,
who are the kings of the earth?
Okay, so this is the part that people have questions. So, and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. So people try to say that this is a differentiation, that maybe there are other people on the earth, and that type of thing. Well, there's a lot of, I did a whole thing on, you want the objection? So, the nations which are saved here, so it's only people that are saved, because we know that all of the judgments have occurred, all right? Verse 27 excludes all unbelievers. We know that the great white throne judgment is exclusive, has happened. Everyone has been judged. If you go back to in this chapter, verse 1 and verse 8, no, the earth has no place for unbelievers. I'm just giving you highlights. So these kings are redeemed believers that have been given positions of authority. And we talk about the crowns that are earned. We talk all throughout the New Testament. It talks about how when we do these things, there are benefits that are given. You go to Jesus' parable on the pounds, on the parable of the talents, and how when they're given one, their authority is given. This guy didn't do squat, so we're going to take his and give to this person, and you get rewards for those things, and that gives you an opportunity to reign with the Lord in different areas. So there's a hierarchy that comes with that. How about it says here, the nations. Well, what are the nations? Well, throughout we see, if you go back to Revelation 7:9, when all the Christians that have passed are up in heaven, it says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, kindreds, people, and tongues. So there are differentiations. We are still in some groups. There's just a unity and a commonality that comes with that. The context of all Romans 21 demands that we're redeemed. Going through some of these. And when we get to the end, these kings are bringing glory and honor to God. It says in verse 24 there. Only Christians, only believers bring honor to God. Skip that one. The gates are open, so there's no unsaved could enter into the holy city anyway. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Were those good? Do those help?
Yeah, but then in verse 27, there shall no wise enter into anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie. So why is there a differentiation here of, why, if this is perfect, then why say that? Isn't it assumed nothing of that will happen, or nothing of that will be brought to the city, or to
nothing unclean entering into the city?
Yeah, why is that stated? I mean, we don't need to know why, but to me that makes it, we're talking about this perfect city with beautiful and all these things, and then you bring in the kings of the earth and all this stuff, and it raises more questions to me on our first reading than answers.
If we look at the end of each of these chapters in the judgment, doesn't it always wrap itself back to, here's the dividing. If you're in the Lamb's Book of Life, if you're not. So there's always this going back to the judgment that has occurred.
So warning to the reader?
I believe it is, because if not, that means this whole thing has started over again.
Yeah, that's the...
Why create a new heaven and earth? Why have the separation and the judgment of everything? And then that means there's stuff left out. That doesn't make any sense. This is the glorified body. So this is, once again, the qualification to enter the city is your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Not good works, not any of that type of thing. And so this is the city, and those that worketh abomination, those are the things that the wickedness, those are people that were not written in the Lamb's Book of Life and that have had their eternal judgment already. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why that's
I see where people can easily be misguided in someone that takes that and runs with it.
Right, and like I said, their argument after argument on this, there's no place on the new earth for new believers. Go back to verse 1, and I saw a new heaven and new earth, for the first heaven, the first earth were passed away.
Yeah.
Verse 8, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and the whoremongers and the sorcerers and the adulterers and all the liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. They're not there.
Yeah. Within the context, there's no...
Right. You can't take those completely separate from the rest of the chapter. Else, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The geography of this is the new heaven and the new earth, where New Jerusalem descends for the saved, the lake of fire for the unbelievers. There's no third location. No middle ground. There's no neutral zone or outside the city, but on the earth. That's not found.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah 66, verse 24, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against thee. For their worms shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring of all flesh. Okay, well, I should have read through that one a little bit more before I read that, but I think we get the gist of this.
That's the... I mean, with any theory or what I said, conspiracy or something, with these different things, especially with Revelation, you can't just take the verse out of the context. And that's when you read any part of the Bible. But it's important with this because we're talking about something that we don't know. But this is something we do know based on the context if you read it. And so to take this verse, and I saw a bunch of things with these last 3 verses after talking about everything, the new heaven, new earth in the chapter, they take these and say, well, it doesn't really matter because, I mean, there's still going to be unsaved people on the earth because of those verses. It's
no.
That is not what it is saying.
Go back to verse 4. And God shall wipe away all tears in their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. If unregenerative people, if unbelievers still existed, that means sin's nature is still there. It produces sorrow. There would be death that still comes, and there would be pain. That's the opposite of what we just read in verse 4. So that cannot exist.
Yeah.
So I would leave it at that. All right. You got a good joke for us?
I promised Mom that I'd read her joke.
It's
a pretty good one.
This is a good one.
This is a good one. All right. Let me make sure that I say this correctly so I can give Mom her flowers. Did you know Yoda had a last name? It was Lehihu. If you don't get it, put those together. Put those 2 words together.
Funny you are.
All right, leave in the comments who you think's gonna win, who you think or who are your disappointments and overachievers? Who you think's gonna win the tournament?
Not basketball, not us, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you next week, and hope you enjoy studying this. We'll be getting into the last chapter of Revelation. So.
How long is it going to take us for that one?
I don't know. Well, this almost turned into 3, so you guys have a good week. Love you. Bye.